Relax. You needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just reminiscing about the old days. However, I never thought Jing Yuan would send you to accompany me. It would seem our fates are intertwined.
Huh? I've got my work cut out for me today. Well, if it isn't Dan Heng.
Greetings. I need to speak to the General about something.
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept full responsibility. They can deduct my next 100-year salary if they like.
That won't be necessary. The Cloud Knights were doing their duty. I should be apologizing for any damage I caused myself.
You came at a bad time. The General is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able to meet with him today. But he did leave a message. Dan Heng. Do you recognize the person on the steps?
No. If the General isn't available, I'll come back another day.
You don't remember her? I see. I suppose the memories of your previous life really were wiped clean after the rebirth. That is Jing Liu, the previous sword champion of the Xianzhou La Fu. She was the closest friend of Imbibitor Lune, your previous incarnation. She was also the General's master. According to records of wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance. Not even the feather guards of the Wingweaver, the father wolf of the Borazon, or the gigantic mecha beast could withstand a single strike from her. She's a renowned legend. However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame that even a hero like her wasn't able to break free of Mara. It is said that in the end, Jing Liu lost her sanity and slaughtered anyone in sight. She was deemed a criminal and fled to outer worlds. With her powers, you'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. For some reason, she arrived on the Luofu with a suspect disguised as a traveling merchant and said she wanted to turn herself in. Her surrender came with one condition: that she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel to Scale Gorge Waterscape and meet with her old friends one last time. I can't believe Jing Yuan actually agreed. Before he left, he ordered us to accompany Jing Liu during her last day on the Luofu. We're hosting an honored guest. We're escorting a criminal.
Imbibitor Lune, you're here. Since you traveled all this way, why don't you come and talk with me? Or should I call you by your name in this lifetime, Dan Heng? When I left the Xianzhou, I heard they took away your scales and horns, forced you into a hatching rebirth, and detained you in the shackling prison. I thought Imbibitor Lune had been wiped from this world, but then I returned to the Luofu and watched as you parted the sea. After all these years, it was a magnificent sight to behold.
Do we know each other?
The answer to that is both yes and no. However, your cold and indifferent tone is identical to the person I knew back then. If my guess is correct, the Preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end and hoped for the Imbibiter Lunay's resurrection. That is why they tampered with the Moltene rebirth and turned you into what you are now.
You're not here to reminisce on old times. Tell me why you're here.
You didn't hear? That Vidyadhara girl explained it clear as day. I returned to the Luofu so I could surrender myself to the Alliance and atone for my sins. I did, however, have one request before the trial. I asked to be given a single day to go and see old friends and to fulfill promises I made long ago. Jing Yuan has always been an understanding person. He heard that you would be coming and agreed to my request.
So, you're the one that mailed the letter to the Express.
That's right.
The sea's depths conceal no stone, and dragons' breaths reveal the moon. The scenery of Scale Gorge waterscape is truly as magnificent as the poems describe. But as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this, General?
Holding you in the shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth. For security purposes, we will be performing your trial here.
For security purposes? I suppose it's not my security you're talking about.
The Stellaron's descent, the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection, the Destruction Emanator's impersonation of the Amicassator. According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, you arrived on the Luofu with a group of merchants, but didn't make a single trade during your stay. Your departure coincided with the day the calamities took place. You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Now you claim that you are responsible for the Stellaron crisis and wish to surrender yourself. Your behavior truly is puzzling. I can't seem to piece together your motive.
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. I admit I did have my own agenda for entering the shackling prison, but in the end, I found that the Luofu did not possess what I was looking for. It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The galaxy is a vast place, but I am merely a wanderer. It would be silly of me to think that I could outrun the Alliance.
Merely a wanderer? You're too modest, Locha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the Eternity Fortress and the Shroud Veil Star Zone? Or must I utter that tongue-twister of a name?
Well, they don't call you the Divine Foresight for nothing, General.
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research, or this conversation would have been quite dry.
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you looking to defend me and clear my name of suspicion?
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave crime. According to protocol, you are to be held on the Xianzhou Shuling for a joint trial before the Ten Lords Commission and the 7 Arbiter Generals. However, at present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape. It will be the last view of the Law Fu you ever lay eyes on.
She told me that the High Cloud Quintet once gathered and feasted here hundreds of years ago. The unparalleled sword techniques of your master, the mesmerizing cloud hymn magic of Imbibitor Lunae Dan Feng, the artful piloting skills of Bai Heng, the divine weapons crafted by the Juming artisan Ying Xing, and the unmatched stratagem of the General. The 5 of you vanquished evil from the world, creating legendary tales in your wake. Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever, and the High Cloud Quintet disbanded as each of you went your separate ways. You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here. But not for security purposes. You wish to discuss things that shouldn't be overheard. You wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now. Your master, Jing Liu.
We can head out now. I would like to visit a few places from my memories, enjoy a glass of wine, and reminisce about the good times.
Have you mistaken yourself for a tourist?
I would make a wonderful tourist. Lower your guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance, and I will keep my word. Besides, your general has already agreed to my request. Imbibitor Lunae, you must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer. Regardless of whether you're still interested in your previous life, accepting my letter means that you've accepted my invitation.
Lead the way.
Where should we start? Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first, or to the Artisanship Commission? So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. When the people of the Xianzhou live to be more than 1,000 years old, each day is like carrying the weight of a mountain through an interminable maze.
How hard is it to choose a destination? We're going to Stargazer Navalia. Problem solved.
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia it is.
If it's star skiffs you wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate. Why did we come all the way here?
Young man, have you ever heard of Bai Heng, the Foxian pilot?
Bai Heng. I think I've seen that name somewhere before.
Let the noble High Elder drown the enemies in rain. We just need a watch from the sky, I presume?
Imbibitor Lunae, if memories are returning to you, share them.
I think she was one of Imbibitor Lunae's comrades.
She was a comrade and friend to both Imbibitor Lunae and all of us. Well, that's all in the past now. The reason we came to Stargazer Navalia is because I wanted to pay tribute to her here.
Huh? You mean the Foxian soul-soothing ceremony?
Yes, the sending off of a star skiff. It represents the voyage of the deceased into the stars. Due to circumstances beyond my control, I never had the chance to bid farewell to her. It is something I have regretted to this day. As for procuring a star skiff, I know they can be manufactured here, but I know nothing of the process.
I see. Follow me. I don't know anything about manufacturing star skiffs either. But getting these machines to work shouldn't be too hard. Careful. There's still Stellarons with...
Tedious.
There's always a weakness. A decisive moment in the battle.
The fight is set. Receive divinity.
This battle is unavoidable.
Stand down.
Blade of Moonlight.
Nowhere to run.
Do not concern yourself with the outcome.
Let's wait and see.
The moon shines on the truth.
Repay! I'll see you off.
Tedious. Blade of moonlight.
You impede me. Your end approaches. Bloom. Unnecessary. Let's settle this.
Do not concern yourself with the outcome.
We've arrived. All ship production in Stargazer Navalia starts here. Just enter the command into the... Ah, I remember now. I've seen Bai Hung's name in books before.
You like to read? I couldn't tell.
Hey, I don't read much, but the General forced me to finish a bunch of ancient volumes during my training. I remember one called Views of the Universe from a Star Skiff. The author's name was Bai Hung.
That's right. Bai Hung was the one who wrote that travelogue.
It was actually really interesting. 90% of it was about starskiff crashes on different worlds and dangerous situations. It also had records of local species and ecosystems. I remember thinking, how could an ace pilot crash land her starskiff so many times? Then I realized that every time, she made the best of the situation and got back alive. Ah, her luck really was out of this world.
Indeed. Her luck always astonished us. Whenever she piloted a mission, you could almost guarantee a narrow escape from the jaws of some abundance behemoth, or a miraculous return from behind enemy lines. Very few star skiffs she piloted were able to return to port in one piece. The folks at the Skyfaring Commission secretly referred to her as the Star Skiff Killer. She also possessed an uncanny ability to predict future events, inauspicious ones at least. Every ill omen that came out of her mouth would sure enough come true. Very few Cloud Knights had the courage to accompany her on missions. However, when it came to surviving, her fortunes were incredible. Even in the worst situations imaginable, she was always able to turn the tide. Luck is a type of strength, after all. I hope that this ship, built for the Star Skiff Killer, will also be able to return to the stars.
Ha! That'll do it. The Starskiff assembly line has been activated. The Starskiff will take shape and enter the skyport. Let's go wait for it there. It won't be long.
Thank you, young man.
See? The Starskiff is complete!
After being away from the Luofu for so long, I can finally say farewell to you.
So, what happened to Bai Hung in the end?
In the end, I do not think the details are necessary. We are here today to commemorate her. In Bibiter Lunae, do you still remember the battle against Shuhu?
The Abundance Emanator, Shu Hu, rallied a great army and attacked the Alliance. I read about it in the Shackling prison.
You seem to be interested in learning about your past life. Still, all of that was erased. After Shu Hu attacked the borders, he disappeared without a trace. There are no records of his remains either. Let me refresh your memory. During that battle, Bai Heng, being the headstrong girl that she was, managed to exhaust the luck that was bestowed upon her by the Rainbow Arbiter. She charged ahead and shattered the enemy's defenses, allowing the Xianzhou soldiers to break through Shu Hu's sanguinary abyss and awaken you from your dragon's delirium. She was not able to walk out of that fight. We all shoulder a debt that we will never be able to repay. For the Cloud Knights, giving up one's life on the battlefield is an honor. But that wasn't something you believed in, Imbibitor Lune. You couldn't accept that Bai Heng was gone. Instead of leaving her to eternal rest, you decided to... You made a mistake that can never be undone. There is no need to respond, Imbibitor Lune. Your answer is no longer important. And now, I will send off this star skiff. Bai Heng, I've brought your flagon. This was a gift handmade by him, though he never got the chance to give it to you in person. I'm sorry it took so long for me to find it. Only by bringing it to you will my nightmares be calmed. I will fulfill what you asked of me. I will keep my word, even if it requires me to cut down the stars in the sky. Let's go. The Artisanship Commission is next. Since the Arbor's resurrection, the land has been crawling with abominations. Even the Artisanship Commission's prized creation furnace is hanging on by a thread.
The crisis happened too suddenly. All the craftsmen and apprentices fled. Only a single master craftsman was left to hold the line until reinforcements arrived. That's how the creation furnace was saved.
Interesting. Stubborn beyond valuing his own life. That reminds me of an extremely arrogant acquaintance. If he were to see the chaos of the Artisanship Commission today, he would burst into laughter at the Xianzhou's incompetence.
What's that supposed to mean? What's wrong with saving your own life and waiting for the Cloud Knights to arrive?
And yet where were the Cloud Knights when danger was at the door? From what I heard, it was a group of Outworlders that came to the rescue.
The Luofu's delves are big places. Besides, Some of the troops were deployed to the Yao Qing's campaign. The Cloud Knights were spread thin. It was impossible to guard everywhere at once.
Young man, why don't we continue our previous contest? Show me whether the sword techniques you are so proud of have improved.
You just want me to do all the work. You think I'm gonna grant endless requests for a criminal?
You go on ahead this time. We'll meet up at the creation furnace.
Why did you send him away?
It is of no importance. But you and I haven't had a decent contest in ages.
I don't plan on fighting.
I'm not asking you to point your spear at me. Could it be that the abominations here aren't enough to motivate you?
Let's wait and see.
The moon shines on the truth.
Even after your rebirth, your moves and techniques haven't changed one bit.
When I move,
To guard and defend.
it's like...
Like you never forgot.
In lunar flame. Blade of moonlight.
Savor it for me.
Come on already. What took you so long this time?
Don't get anxious, Imbibitor Lunae. We have all the time in the world.
The moon shines on the truth.
This spear still recognizes you as its master. Imbibitor Lunae, do you know who crafted it for you?
It's been with me ever since my exile. I don't remember when I started wielding it.
The dead return! A miracle! Failed to send you.
In lunar flame.
Lend me your strength.
You can continue to convince yourself that you are merely the reincarnation of Danfeng and have nothing to do with his sins. And you can keep insisting that you have forgotten everything. But you cannot run from combat, Dan Heng. Your spearmanship is identical to Imbibitor Lunay's. Combat is like smelting, purging the impurities with burning flames and exposing a person's true nature. Those are the words of the one who made Cloudpiercer for you. Do you remember? Out of all of us, you were the closest to him. It was strange, really, to see someone so arrogant get along with someone so proud.
I'd rather leave this world in a blaze than live until the end of time. I will let all of the Xianzhou know that a brief moment of my life is worth more than their long and meaningless lives.
Yingxing.
You still remember his name. When he was but a child, he swore to take revenge on the abominations. That's what drove him to travel across the stars to the Xianzhou to receive training. When I first met him, he wasn't even as tall as my sword. But he was boasting about mastering all the crafts of the Artisanship Commission by the time he was 100 years old. The little brat was no less arrogant than the High Elder. At first, I wasn't too fond of his defiant nature, but when we met again, he was able to craft weapons that astonished the master craftsman. He even snatched the Artisanship Commission title of Furnace Master. Unfortunately, the Alliance would never allow a short-life species to run the Artisanship Commission. He was only able to prove his worth alongside us outcasts in the end.
You didn't go easy just so I would get here first, did you?
Of course not. Your technique must have improved so much that I simply couldn't keep up with you.
So, are we here to commemorate your short-life species friend?
Eavesdropping is a bad habit. Besides, when did I ever say he was no longer in this world?
Even the cryocapsules wouldn't be able to extend the life expectancy of a short-life species for long. If he is still alive, he must be ancient.
Yingxing is still alive?
Of course he's still alive. But he might be better off dead. Some people are born with unparalleled foresight and exceptional intelligence, but make the most ill-advised choices at destiny's crossroads. As smart as he was, he made the foolish attempt to use the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to aid Imbibitor Lunay in resurrecting his deceased companion. His stupidity turned him into a monster, cursed with immortality. His soul was shattered and became the evil that he hated most. The irony.
Ugh, for an old friend, you don't seem to have that much pity.
I gave him a second chance. Does that not count?
What did you do to him?
He should have been eternally jailed in the shackling prison for his crimes. But I gave him a different kind of freedom. I took the shell that once held his soul and passed my sword techniques on to him. I let him die 100 deaths to remind him of the karma of his previous life. Afterward, I heard he was reborn and even gave himself a name. We've idled too long. Let's head to the Alchemy Commission.
As a follower of the Rainbow Arbiter, you have witnessed the catastrophe brought upon by the plague's author, General. Living beings turning into undying monsters, eventually used as sacrifices to the abundance. What do you think should be done to put an end to it, General?
The Alliance follows the Rainbow Arbiter's edict to continue ridding the world of evil, so that one day Yaoshi might be vanquished and the cycle of life and death restored.
Under the auspices of the Rainbow Arbiter, the faithful Cloud Knights continue the hunt. Their devotion and sacrifices are indeed commendable, but their devotedness has made them close-minded. Take me, for example. My powers originate from the abundance, yet my goals are aligned with the Alliance. The Hunt is not the only faction in the universe that wants Yaoshi dead. It is natural for short-life species to yearn for immortality. That is expected of any intelligent life form. To want to eliminate these thoughts would be equivalent to killing an eon. Such a goal is so impossible as to be laughable, to be honest. So, in order to sever Yaoshi's curse, one must look to the source for a different solution. Your master happened upon a revelation and returned from the Mara. She has traveled many worlds and discovered a solution.
I'm listening.
I apologize, General. I'm afraid the next move will have to be made on the Shu Ling.
As I expected. Your surrender is just the next step in your scheme. You wish to avail yourself of the Ten Lords' decree to enter Shu Ling and stand before the 6 generals, even the Marshal. That is your true agenda. And the purpose of the contents of your coffin.
General, you said it yourself. This is beyond your control. It is the law of the Alliance. We cannot deviate from it.
Splendid, well done. This was a spectacular move.
You've changed, Jingyuan. The man I knew would never have admitted he was bested.
Order's already been restored to the Alchemy Commission. Why are we here?
I heard the healer lady is capable of curing all diseases. I'm here for the same reason anyone would be. For a checkup and consultation. Patience, young man. We're not far from Scale Gorge waterscape. The mission the General tasked you with is about to come to an end.
What a surprise! Are you not feeling well? Please, come this way.
Miss Bailu. She's here for a consultation.
Oh, I see. Are you here for your eyes? Or is it something else?
My eyes are fine. I cover them to avoid seeing that which reminds me of the past and riles my inner demons. My thoughts have been disordered lately, and I experience occasional night terrors. Do you have a way to soothe my mind, Dragon Lady?
Those symptoms don't sound like my area of expertise. Bah, who cares? The healers of the Alchemy Commission don't get to pick and choose their patients. Give me your hand. We'll start by checking your pulse. You'll need to take some translucent worms so I can take a closer look. Your hand! It's freezing! Please wait. Danheng, can I speak to you for a minute? Your friend here has a very peculiar condition. Her pulse is extremely faint. Normally, this would mean that she...
She won't live much longer.
Let the healer make the professional diagnosis. Your friend's situation is unique. She looks healthy, but her hands are cold as ice. It feels like there's a dark current running and pulsing between her core esse and her veins. I've never seen anything like it. With more research, I might be able to make a new entry in the medical records. Can you and your friend come back for follow-up visits?
Today's her last day on the Luofu.
What What a shame. If she could stay for a few days, I might be able to figure out how to cure her. I'll do my best. No matter what I administer, she's gonna need to drink a ton of warm water from this point on. Come with me. I'll prescribe her some soul-returning vitality infusion. I won't cure her, but I'll... Wait! Where did my big medicine box go? I'm sorry. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were expelled, things have been a mess around here. Tanheng, you mind coming with me to retrieve my medicine? I could use your skills.
Are you in trouble, Dragon Lady? I'll come along as well.
No. No trouble at all.
It's no bother. A little walk will do me good.
Ah. I can smell the herbs. It's around here somewhere. Hey! Give me back my medicine box! That thing runs so fast! Don't let it get away! There's an even bigger monster protecting this one! When did so many creatures start visiting the Alchemy Commission?
Careful.
Allow me to eliminate these obstacles, Dragon Lady. Stand back. The chill of my sword freezes everything in its path.
Don't get complacent.
Stand down.
This battle is unavoidable.
The fight is set. That paradise, savor it for me.
Receive divinity.
Fail to set you.
Try harder.
You'll pay for this.
Tedious.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them!
Blade of Moonlight.
You impede me.
Lend me your strength!
All right, let me make sure nothing's missing. Excellent. The calming valerian and chi strengthening infusions are here. Let's head back. Never make a patient wait too long. Apologies again for the delay. This prescription won't cure you, but it will nourish your body and calm your mind.
Very well. The fate of a long-life species is inevitable, even with the best doctors.
You're Mara-struck? I don't see the symptoms in you at all. What with the incident on the Law Fu, I've treated a number of Mara-stricken patients recently. They all presented with signs of incoherence, delirium, or frightening physical mutations. You don't seem to have any of that.
I made a deal that allowed me to retain what life I had left in me. I may be sane, but one thing is certain. My mind is already at its limit. And yet, I still have many unfulfilled wishes, and plenty of unfinished business.
I see. So you've learned to live with your illness. I can't help much with issues of the spirit, but the medical records do mention that calming the mind is a way to heal the body. If you're able to forget about the past, there might be a chance for your symptoms to regress.
Really? How unfortunate. My hatred overshadows my other emotions. I chose to hold on to it, to embrace it, and to use it to maintain my existence. All I have left are the sword in my hand and my hatred of the past. If I am without either of them, I would fall into an empty void. Thank you for your advice, Dragon Lady. Meeting you has provided more healing than any kind of medicine or remedy. By the way, among those you've treated in recent days, did you notice a person in bandages?
Bandages? That's a vague description, you know. I'm not sure. We get injured patients from all over the Xianzhou for treatment, and the number of injuries we see has skyrocketed since the Ambrosial Arbor crisis.
The person I'm inquiring about is tall, with a serious expression. He also carries a crude sword with him at all times. Have you seen someone like that, Dragon Lady?
Oh, yes! Someone came by today that matches that description. He must have suffered some kind of sword wound. He had a strong scent of blood. Though, from the way he behaved, it must have been fairly minor. He didn't even take the medicine I prescribed.
He's probably looking for a different kind of medicine. Well then, it would seem that everything is in place. Let's go meet our old friend. Take this man away. This does not involve him.
Yanqing.
And so, everyone is present. I never thought the High Cloud Quintet would be able to gather again in the same place after hundreds of years. If I remember correctly, the 5 of us made a promise here 7 centuries ago. We promised that no matter what happened, we would gather here together and share a drink. How sad that Scale Gorge waterscape remains empty while the world continues to turn. Some of us have been reborn, while others were denied death. Some have become criminals, while others can no longer fulfill their promises. And in the end, our friendship is no more. Soon, I will be shackled and tried. This will be the last you see of me. This is why I sent out the invitations before departing, hoping that everyone would be gathered here for my final farewell. Of 5 people, 3 must pay a price. Imbibitor Lunae, the chief culprit, chose to use the transmutation arcanum as a means of resurrection, begetting terrible transformation and great calamity in the process. He dishonored the name of the fallen. Ying Sing, the accomplice, arrogant and oblivious, used the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to assist Imbibitor Lunae in his evil. He fell, becoming an immortal abomination. As for Jingliu, the sinner, she succumbed to Mara, slaughtered her people, and abandoned her oath. Now it is time we pay for what we have done. Dan Heng, you can never escape the shadow of Imbibitor Lunae. He is your origin, and his sins will accompany you in your path forward until you meet your eventual doom. Blade, what a fitting name. In the remainder of your infinite life, you will experience only murder and your own death, all the while pleading for a place to rest. This is the only way you are able to relinquish Ying Sing's regrets. And I will face the punishment of the Alliance and suffer an eternal punishment before paying an even worse price. That is the only way to keep the memory of the pain of the past from fading away. High Cloud Quintet, it is time to say goodbye.
Show your courage.
A wineless gathering, accompanied by only sadness and bitterness. What a depressing reunion. Jing Yuan, is it not time you sent me to the Shuling?
The laws of the Alliance cannot be subject to change. Unfortunately, your next stop will be the Yuchi. I reported everything to the Marshal, and the Seer strategist just so happened to take an interest in the case. They set up a Deca-light reflection barrier in hopes of meeting the 2 of you beforehand.
Jing Yuan, you haven't changed at all. Always trying to destroy the plans of others. But in the end, whether it be you, me, the Cloud Knights, or the generals of the Rainbow Arbiter, we are all just pawns in a game of the gods. I am sick and tired of treading on a predetermined path. No matter, I will deviate if you insist, but this does not change how things will end. Ultimately, I will stand on the side of victory.
Then I shall see this gamble through.
Wait. Jingliu, before you leave, You still owe me my due.
I have tried. Besides inflicting more wounds on your body, there is nothing else I can do for you. The immortality that you possess is not something that can be dealt with so easily. I am sure Destiny's Slave already told you that the swords of mortals are incapable of killing someone with the flesh of an emanator.
He did. But you still owe me the attempt.
I told you when I taught you the way of the sword. I am uninterested in drawing my blade against someone who does not long for life, who wants only to be slaughtered.
You will only draw against an opponent. Jingliu, allow me to repay you for your teachings.
Savor the moment. I will deliver you a brief moment of death. We were here once, 700 years ago. Laughing, sparring, and thinking about the future. Their faces still linger before my eyes, like a bygone dream. I thought those joyful days would flow indefinitely before us, like a Cienjo lifetime. Yet, dreams will eventually fade like clouds from the sky.
A familiar feeling. Almost as if we've returned to my first sword lesson. You used the sword Insing crafted, and pierced, sliced, and impaled me time and time again. The swordplay used to slay our enemies of old is still engraved on this despicable shell. All I can do is watch my flesh become severed, healed, and restored. It's as if they're saying, Why? Why did you and Imbibitor Lunae commit such an unforgivable sin? I know that you have no interest in my answer. Which is why I asked the question as you looked me straight in the eye. I've asked myself that same question infinite times, but was never able to find the answer. Why? Why is it that only the abominations can return time and time again? Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash, and eventually forgotten? Why? In the end, you unleashed the final piercing blow and left both me and the sword in the withered grave. The miraculous thing is that in my brief moment of death, all the pain went away. Like when we drank to drown our sorrows.
Imbibitor Lunae, what do you plan on doing next?
Once this gathering ends, I will return to the Express to continue my journey.
The Express won't be able to carry you forever. Your friends all have burdens of their own, just as we did back then. I did think about giving up on revenge and letting go of everything when I fled the Luofu years ago. However, as time passed, it became more and more clear. It was like an old friend that accompanied me every passing day, always nagging in my ear. The memories of what I did when I was Mara-struck are deeply rooted. Since I am unable to rid myself of them, I decided to face them head-on in the end. Maybe when I witness the fall of the abundance, you and Ying Sing will find true release. Goodbye, Imbibitor Lunae.
She's gone. All this must have seemed like a silly performance to someone newly reborn. But I am unable to prevent my old friends from taking sides against one another. Who you are is a question that only you can find the answer to. Even if the Preceptor's interference denied you a true rebirth. Yes. It has been a long day for you, Dan Heng.
Dan Heng, the General wants me to forget about everything I saw today. I understand. These disputes are far too complicated for me right now. Swordplay is a lot simpler. I have some close friends of my own in the Cloud Knights. Will we fall out the way you guys did? Goodbye for now, Dan Heng. I hope the next time we meet, it'll be under happier circumstances.
She couldn't do it with her sword either. She still couldn't do it. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. This is the price the two of us must pay.
I will see it through.
Elio's script still requires you to stay alive. For now. I don't mind prolonging my vengeance. It might be more interesting that way.
If there's nothing pressing, let's take a walk.
How about it? Are you ready to head out for the special training? That was fast. Let's do it. Keep up, Zila. Don't fall behind.
I don't need you to remind me. Let's go. Luca, do you often find stuff for other people?
Seems like it. Kids always come to me when they lose stuff.
No wonder.
Man, this area is so run down. I wouldn't want to live here.
The people living here don't want to either.
Oh, look! There's a drone over there! But how can we tell if it's the one Cassidy lost?
Here, look. Someone deliberately scratched off the paintwork. Didn't even do a good job of it.
Oh, you're right. You've got a good eye, Zila. Whoever did it must have been in a hurry. We need to fix this little guy up. Can you lend a hand?
Done! The little one can fly again.
Beep, bing. Little Faye, reinitialization complete.
We really found it. Pretty lucky if you ask me.
Scanning for signal from Big Ben.
Oh, listen. That must be the tracking system Cassidy mentioned.
Signal not found. Big Ben is currently too far away from this unit. Tracking function must be enabled.
It really does have a tracking function. Let's see how useful it is. Hey! It's flying away! Follow it!
Look, that fellow over there is acting pretty shifty. Hey, friend.
What? Who's there? Red ribbon? What? Wildfire? Huh? How did you... I'm doing just fine. No monsters around here. Why don't you, go bother someone else?
Shying away from honest work, indulging in petty crime. Of course you're doing just fine.
I'm not sure this falls under petty crime, Zila. That whole robot he's got next to him. It's Big Ben, all right.
Hold on a second. Who told you the name of this robot? Don't tell me it's...
That's right. Cassidy sent us here. Hand over what you stole, or be prepared to face the fist of a champion.
Fists of a champion, huh? I've come this far. I won't be able to show my face around here if news gets out. Do your worst. Big Ben, let's get him!
Going all the way, huh? Enough talk then. Luca, let's get him.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Here, let me punch some sense into you.
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Give it up. You're no match for us.
I can't turn back now!
Got guts.
Spare me! Please! All of you! I shouldn't have stolen anything! I admit! Give me a second chance!
You're admitting defeat? What happened to all that bravado you had a few moments ago? The Multamerville Warrior. The peerless Boulder Champion! Upholding justice and peace once again! Nice! Our thieving friend surrendered, and Big Ben looks to be in one piece. The first step of the champion's training is complete. Huh? Why are you two so straight-faced? Can't you look a little happy?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. What was all that supposed to be?
No, that thing, just a slogan. Don't take it too seriously. Let's get Big Ben back to Cassidy.
Fine. Let's finish up here. But I'm gonna put it out there. We're not gonna forget those lines of yours anytime soon.
I'm sorry, please. I've learned my lesson. I've reset its systems. It won't attack you anymore. Just get it out of here. Take it back to its owner. I can't stay here anymore. What am I gonna do?
Beep boop. Big Ben misses home. Big Ben wants to talk with Little Faye. Big Ben wants to play with Cassidy. Go home. Go home.
Big Ben! Oh, you're back!
Beep boop. Cassidy. Little Faye, Cassidy.
I don't know how I can ever thank you, Luca, Sela, and Mr. Outsider. My life can finally get back on track now.
See? I kept my word, right? Wildfire's senior members always deliver what we promise.
I've never doubted you, Luca. I'll remember this forever. Right, time to take little Faye and Big Ben for a systems check. Until next time.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll catch up later. Ah, that felt great. Such a wholesome feeling to help other people, don't you think?
To be honest, I think you could have handled it yourself. You said this was the first step, right? So just how many steps does your training have exactly?
3. Just 3 steps. Trust me, it won't take too much of your time. I like your spirit. Shame I didn't run into you sooner. Let's go. Next, we're gonna clear up all the Fragmentum cronies still left in this settlement.
Huh? Fragmentum? But the settlement...
wasn't affected by Fragmentum, right? You're not wrong. The fissure here only recently opened up. Master Oleg got the intel from our network just yesterday. I asked him to leave this case to me. Perfect for the second step of our training, right?
Like master, like student. I admire your attitude. In any case, if this concerns the Fragmentum, then there's no time to lose. Where are the monsters? Lead the way.
Way ahead of you. Follow me.
Luca, come clean with me. Are you here for some other reason?
It's just training, for real. It's not like you to be so suspicious, Sela. Say, how did you settle your beef with Svarog? Tell me the juicy details.
There's so many of them. Are you sure the fissure only recently opened up?
Our intel should have been accurate. Seems like Boss Svarog must have let his guard down. These guys are messing up his turf.
Enough talk. Let's clean up this area.
Strike first!
The dead return!
Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Don't get cocky.
Lend me your strength. Who's next? Troublesome.
What the hell you got? Step out of it.
Don't mess with disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Let's see some sparks fly! Don't get cocky!
Lend me your strength. To guard and defend. Crush them. Who's next? Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Step out of it! No wonder these minions are so active. There's a big fella hiding behind them.
So this guy is the source of it all, right? If we take him out, the fragmentum activity in this area should subside for a while. And Trial 2 will be complete.
That's right. What's up? Starting to get into it, Zila?
It's been too long since I had a good workout. This will be a nice warm-up.
All right. We'll charge in once you're ready.
Great.
Don't get cocky. Let's see some sparks fly!
Lend me your strength.
The dead return!
Receive divinity. Repay.
Who's next?
Step out of it.
Lend me your strength. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Nearly there. It's not gonna last much longer.
I'll deal the final blow.
Whew, that was a tough one. Good teamwork, guys. Luca, is that everything?
The Multamerville Warrior. The peerless Boulder Champion. Defeater of evil throughout the world.
You... Are you okay? Why are you so hyped? What's going on?
It's just a normal victory celebration. Don't need to be so alarmed.
You call that normal? I might have let it slide if it was in the cage. On second thought, no. That was cringe even by Fight Club standards.
Don't get so worked up, Zila. I'm thinking clearly. Plus, didn't we just get rid of another major threat to the underworld?
True, but quit changing the subject. This new routine of yours is just...
Don't worry. I promise you, it'll only last till the end of my training. Actually, I've Have I been making too many promises today? That's not a good habit. Anyway, there's only one more step in my training plan. Come on, guys, help me wrap it up.
I guess we're in too deep. Better let it run its course. So tell us, what else is on the schedule?
The final step in this training is to challenge Boss Svarog!
Are you sure you're thinking clearly?
Whoa, stay cool, Zila. Like I said, I'm thinking clearly. Every word I said is serious. I set this as the final goal of my training a few days ago. Think about it. Is there any underworld opponent worth challenging more than Boss Svarog?
Oh no, I can't agree to this. You're asking for trouble. Forget about winning or losing. The relationship between Wildfire and Svarog only just got patched up.
I'm not gonna rile him up. Don't make this more complicated than it is. I'm just inviting him to have a fair fight with me, like how you'd have in the cage.
Are you mad? Svarog is a robot. He doesn't understand the rules of the cage. He's different from us. His fists are made of steel.
That means we're evenly matched, right?
You know what I mean. Don't act smart with me. You don't make any sense.
I understand what you're saying, Zila. But you know, I'm a fighter. It's my duty to keep training and get stronger. It's a terrible feeling to have a powerful opponent in your head, but never be able to get close to him. It's all thanks to your patching things up with Svarog that I'm able to have this opportunity now. I'm not gonna miss it for the world.
All right, fine. We'll go find Svarog and have a nice chat with him. Let me say this first. If he doesn't want to deal with you as a challenger, then we're getting out of there ASAP.
Don't worry, I'll convince him. But you're right. If he's not in the mood for it, then I won't force him. I haven't really worked with Boss Svarog before, so please, lead the way. Let's go.
Luca, you...
What's up?
Never mind. I get the feeling I'm wasting my breath. Have you talked to Oleg about going to see Svarog?
That's all you want to ask? I don't necessarily tell Master Oleg everything, you know.
The Trailblazer, Zila of Wildfire, and...
Hey! In honor to meet you, Boss Svarog, I'm Luca, a senior member of Wildfire, just like Zila.
Accessing backend database. Querying. Query complete. Luca, born in Maltamerville, winner of the 28th Bouldertown Fight King Challenge, 11th student of Oleg, acting chief of Wildfire.
Oh, wow, impressive! Thank you for saving me the self-introduction.
Luca of Wildfire, what is the purpose of your visit?
Straight to the point, just the way I like it. I'm here to challenge you, Boss Svarog.
Challenge. Intent unclear. Outsider, Zila of Wildfire, can you provide an explanation?
He's the one who came up with this idea. It's up to you to accept it or not, Svarog.
Yep, it's not that complicated. I just want to go a few rounds with the one everyone agrees is the most powerful in the underworld and see where I stand. What do you say? Are you interested?
Evaluating. Intention unclear. Enmity level 0. Lie detection passed. Evaluation completed. The opposing party only came to spar. I agree to fight you, Luca of Wildfire.
Huh? Hold on. You agree?
If weapons and gun barrels are unused for prolonged periods of time, the risk of rust damages increases. Periodic use will reduce such risk and extend the life of these components.
What? That's the worst excuse I've ever heard.
See, I told you I could convince him. You could be our referee, Zila. You know the rules of the club, inside out.
Fine, I get it. If you insist. Competitors, take up positions.
I'm ready, Svarog. We can start anytime.
I too have a question, Luca of Wildfire. How did you acquire your mechanical arm?
I'm honored to be one of the things in the underworld that even you don't know about. This arm? Well, it's not that exciting. It's all because I got distracted in a defense campaign. I can't even remember the date of that fight. More importantly, it was only after losing my arm that I found the meaning of life. What it really feels like to be alive. That's why I'm standing here right now, to feel alive. And also for everyone who put their hope and faith in me.
Excellent answer. I will treat this challenge seriously, Luca of Wildfire.
In the blue corner, Svarog from the Robot Settlement. Are you ready?
Ready.
In the red corner, Luca from Multimerville. Are you ready?
Whenever you are.
Okay. This is a no-holds-barred contest. 1 round only. Victory will be declared when one contestant submits, or the fight is stopped by the referee. All right. Fight!
Let's see some sparks fly.
Purge initiated. Executing operation.
I'm just getting started. Don't get cocky now. Ha! Finally! An opponent that can take the punches head on!
A powerful strike, but not enough to break my defenses.
That's why they call you Boss Farog. How about this? Only worth their salt. Let's see some sparks fly!
Analysis complete.
Now we're talking. Small fry. Snap out of it.
Executing annihilation. Executing operation.
Not bad.
Red contestant down. 10, 9, 8, 7.
No way. I'm a long way from tapping out. Let's go.
Reinforcing. Value exceeds threshold. Transmission blocked.
Where's the applause? An opponent worth their salt. Let's see some sparks fly!
Purge initiated. Calculating result.
Now we're talking.
Executing operation.
Gotta keep fighting.
The winner has been decided.
Enough, Luca! Let's end it here!
No! It's not over. I must show you. Back in the ring.
Complete.
Where's the applause? An opponent worth their salt. Let's see some sparks fly!
You make a strong impression, Luca of Wildfire. I will remember this fight.
Thanks. But it's not over.
Individuals.
I can't.
Luca of Wildfire, it does not matter why you came here. I acknowledge your strength. Your performance was enough to make me reevaluate the limits of humanity.
That's really...
Wake up! On your feet! Luca! Hey, Luca! Luca, can you hear me? Hey! Hey! Luca, you're up! You're finally awake! You've been out for the whole day. We were really worried.
Don't worry, Zila. Like I said, it was just the exhaustion. Svarog was deliberately holding back.
Zila... And... Nat? I'm in... the clinic?
Where else? You think we'd leave you on Svarog's turf?
Thank you all. I feel much better now. Sorry, Nat. I must have wasted your time.
Don't be ridiculous, Luca. Still, whatever your motivation was, I hope you can find a different outlet for it.
I'm not gonna let you off the hook that easy. There's more to this story. You need to explain what the heck got into you today. That's on me too. I should have refused him straight away. I had a bad feeling from the start.
You're always so serious. I've said it before. This is my trip.
Oh, slow down. You haven't completely recovered. Zila, don't pressure him. Let him rest.
Thanks, Nat, but I'm almost recovered. I have some things to do.
Hey, where do you think you're...
Let him go, Zila.
I really don't get him. Well, whatever they are, they're not good enough. If he never intended to explain anything to us, why did he drag us along? No, this is too weird. I'm gonna follow him and see what he's up to. Of course. You're not too busy these days, right? I'll give you a shout if I need help. Luca didn't used to be like this. I just can't let it go.
If you must, Zila, try not to worry. I don't want to see you two fighting.
Don't worry, Nat.
Now that they've left, I have a favor to ask you. It's easy for Luca to get ahead of himself sometimes, but I've never seen him this headstrong. It does make me wonder. Could you ask Oleg how Luca's been recently? I haven't seen much of him lately, it's hard for me to get the full picture. Thank you. Regardless of what's really going on, I hope none of you let small things get in the way of your friendship. See you.
Where you find people, you find wildfire. Oh? My student. Did something happen recently? I was wondering why he didn't come to see me after the championship match ended. Come, tell me about it. That does sound a little strange. Luca usually doesn't push himself so far. Huh. He may be a tough guy on the surface, but he's got his secrets. Did he tell you about the origins of his mechanical arm? Ah, then he probably didn't describe the scene in detail. That was 6, 7 years ago? I was patrolling with some comrades in the neighboring town of Multamerville. We passed an ordinary mechanic's shop. There was a serious-looking fella looking after the shop. He was probably a few years younger than me, but his hair and beard were white as snow. There was a young lad doing odd jobs. He looked pretty exhausted. Anyway, I convinced the shopkeeper to let him come with me. Luca was a fast learner. At first, I couldn't figure out if he liked what I was teaching him. Fighting, weapons, strategy, etc. He didn't talk a lot, just kept his head down. Then, about a year after I took him in, Luca lost one of his arms while rescuing townsfolk from the Fragmentum in Multamerville. He almost didn't make it. He was unconscious for 2 or 3 days. I sat next to his bed, anxious and guilty. Guess what he said to me after he woke up? Master, I feel great. He had bandages all over his body. Most of his wounds hadn't healed yet. But it was the first time he'd ever smiled at me. I still remember that expression. Oh, sorry. I get a little carried away when I tell this story. What I'm trying to say is Luca views other people's lives as more important than his own. That's how he's always been. So when he says stuff like, "This is for training," that's probably a lie. He's hiding something from you, all right? Anyway, I'm too old to be getting involved in this stuff. I'm sure you and Zila can sort this by yourselves. One thing I will ask, please try not to embarrass him too much, okay? He's the fighting champion of Boulder Town, after all. An idol for all the children. He needs to keep up that image.
Oh, you're here. Come on. He wasn't in a hurry, so we should be able to catch up easy enough. Look, there he is. Let's follow him. Stay quiet. thank goodness we didn't lose him. Quick, let's keep up the chase. This doesn't feel right. Hey, let's hide for a bit. This doesn't feel right. Hey, let's hide for a bit. Wait, that's... Hook! What's she doing here? Up to no good. Lucas should tell her to go back to town. He's always worrying after the kid's safety. We've come this far. We can't let this kid ruin everything. Shh, she's coming this way.
Wow, honorary member, Miss Zil.
Shh, be quiet. You almost exposed us.
Why are you sneaking around like this? Wow, that's so exciting.
We're gonna lose him if we don't hurry. Hook, run back to town. Stop hanging around here.
Okay. That's what Lucas said too. I hope you two find the treasure.
Whew, thank goodness we didn't lose him. Quick, let's keep up the chase. This doesn't feel right. Hey, let's hide for a bit. This doesn't feel right. Hey, let's hide for a bit. Hey, that's too close. Step back a bit. Did he put something down? Let's go have a look. A case? For some reason, I feel like... Yeah, I don't have a reason. It's just a feeling. Then again, we followed him for ages. It'll be a waste if we don't see what's inside. I wonder what's in there. Here, let me open it. Is this a notebook? It looks like a kid's handwriting and some scribbled art. Have a look.
Mr. Luca. Hello. My name is Margie, and I'm from Multamerville too. I'm a big fan of yours. I've been sick since I was a baby, but I still dream of becoming a big star in the cage one day, just like you. It's a bit embarrassing, but I wanted my dad to give you this notebook. I wanted to tell you that you've inspired me to keep working hard and achieve my goal, even if it's hard to reach. When I become a fighter as awesome as you, I'm gonna do my best to help people in the underworld. I want to team up with my friends and help everyone together so they can smile again. I'll listen to their thanks and then yell out my winning slogan. The Multimerville Warrior, the peerless Boulder Champion. Upholding justice and peace once again. Then I want to chase away all the bad things hurting everyone. I'll go with my friends and clear out all the scary monsters. I'll make the underworld safe, and then yell out my other winning slogan. The Multimerville Warrior, the peerless Boulder Champion. Defeater of evil throughout the world. Lastly, I want to make life better for the underworld. Mom said there's someone called Svarog who keeps stopping us from going back to the overworld. So I'm gonna challenge that big robot and show him what I can do as a champion fighter. But Svarog is too strong. We'll never win. My friends are gonna all want to back out when they hear about this. But I know I have to be an example for everyone. I need to stick my neck out and go challenge Svarog on my own. Bam! Crack! Boom! It's gonna be such an epic fight. And then we'll reach a draw, and neither of us will be able to win. But Svarog will acknowledge my strength and be willing to listen to the Underworlders. So, it'll be a happy ending. My friends will clap, and all the people suffering will be free. But all that is just my dream. I don't know how long it's gonna be till it becomes reality. I'm lying in bed sick right now. But as long as Mr. Luca is around, I won't be scared. I remember everything you said to encourage me. Before becoming a champion, I want to defeat this illness first. Then, I need to learn how to stand, walk, and exercise again. Until I achieve all my dreams. I hope... no. I believe Mr. Luca will support me till the end. Right?
Luca. I think I get it now. Maybe we should forget about all this. What do you say? Maybe one day we can talk about it with him. But let's give him some time. Let's head back to town for today. Good night, Margie.
If there's nothing pressing, let's take a walk.
The heavens are vast. The kite flies where it wishes.
If there's nothing pressing, let's take a walk.
Breaking news! Read all about it!
If there's nothing pressing, let's take a walk.
you're here. Thanks again for agreeing to this. Don't be. I only just arrived myself. The highest priority for today is establishing good negotiations with the Chief of Wildfire. I'm about to get that process underway. Serval was a little delayed on the way over, but that doesn't affect our schedule. Let's set off.
Hold up, I wasn't that late.
Negotiations will be held in the Boulder Town Clinic. Serval and I are newcomers, so you'll have to lead the way. The underworld isn't exactly how I remember it.
Feels like we're not getting many friendly looks, huh?
So, ready to climb aboard?
Well, well, well. I don't think our little clinic has ever played host to an occasion like this.
We meet again, Mr. Oleg.
Oleg will do, son. Oh, you. You probably won't know. Our young Silvermane friend here and I had the pleasure of speaking to each other at a certain Guardian succession ceremony. We're not complete strangers. But as for this young lady...
The name's Serval. I'm, an ex-engineer from the technology division, and Japard's sister? Pleasure to meet you, Chief.
Likewise, miss. The more the merrier. And it's good to have you here again. It bothered me and Natasha that we never arranged a formal welcome for you. Once we're done talking, you must all join us for a meal.
We'd be honored. But to your point, Oleg, let's finish our discussions first.
Quite right. Let's head inside. Too much commotion out here.
Huh, so she's your sister. The Landau family is full of talented young people, I see.
You're worried that Underworlders might still hold a grudge against the Silvermane guards. So you want to show your solidarity with the Trailblazers to build some trust. Seems like a sound strategy to me.
Rebuilding trust between the two worlds has always been a priority for Lady Bronya. People here must have felt abandoned by the guards after the passage was sealed off. If we were to simply take over the underworld in the name of the Supreme Guardian, I can only imagine how people would react.
Seems like you have a good handle on the situation. I see now why you made captain at such a young age.
So, you're also saying the guards want to work with Wildfire and use our reputation to win back people's support, correct?
I wouldn't use those exact words, but that is more or less what we want to achieve.
If that's the case, I've got a question for you. Since this offer comes from those who left us to our fate for more than a decade, how would you react if Wildfire refused? Would you use force?
She's not trying to be diplomatic about it, is she? Who is she, anyway?
The barrier between the surface and the underground was the product of the former Supreme Guardian's misjudgment and the policies that resulted from it. The people of Belobog should have stood together, but instead, we were made to blame and hate one another. Lady Bronya wants Belobog to heal, so the Silvermane Guards need to regain the people's trust. But we won't achieve that by kicking doors open and policing everyone around. As a grassroots organization, Wildfire did an extraordinary job maintaining order for over a decade in the absence of the guards. I can only imagine how much work you put in to protect the underworld. I can assure you that the guards are not here to seize power. If it takes time for the people to trust us, so be it. We're willing to take small measures and serve as an auxiliary force to Wildfire to help maintain peace. I hope you can see that everything we do to rebuild trust and make Belobog work for all.
I swear, he never used to be this emotionally intelligent.
That's an answer I can accept. Oleg, what do you think?
I think there's no need for the guessing game to continue. It's obvious we share the same goal. With the help of Bronya, Serval, and Chapard, we're one step closer to rebuilding a united Belobog.
I agree. Tell Bronya that Wildfire will work with the Silvermane Guards on security matters. However, things aren't simple down here. Please also tell her to draw up plans in case the situation demands...
Monsters! Monsters from the Fragmentum! They're swarming toward the town!
Not good. Stay here, Natasha. The patients need you. The soldiers and I will handle this.
Understood. We'll be counting on you.
Everyone rushed outside. I should probably see what's happening.
Please, help my friends! The monsters invaded the mine. Please, you have to save my friends. Otherwise, those things would tear them apart.
Don't worry. The Silvermane Guards are trained for these situations. Where do we find them?
The Great Mine! The one with the big ore vein!
Understood. I'll send my men to set up a perimeter and start the rescue operation right away. Mr. Oleg, please entrust the Silvermane Guards with the rescue. The defense of Boulder Town will need Wildfire's expertise. Watch out for ambushes, and be ready to receive wounded soldiers.
You're a natural-born commander. Understood. Leave it to me, son. Your troops will be unfamiliar with the layout of the mine. I'll send some of my men to be your guides.
Thank you. In the name of the preservation, I promise we'll do everything we can to save lives. I'll go on ahead and lead the troops to the mine. Catch up to us when you can.
I couldn't get a word in while they were talking. A duty-bound soldier and a resistance leader. It's hard to be rock and roll in front of people like that. You know, maybe I need to put my inner struggles in a broader context. You're right. I've probably been idle for too long. It's easy to get stuck in your own head. It's just... I see people fighting for their lives, and here I am thinking about how to escape. I feel guilty about that. Wait a minute. Was that Japard's plan all along? Use guilt to make me stay? That's true. Anyway, since he asked for help, it's time to give those monsters a shock. You know the way to the Great Mine, right? Let's catch up with Japard when you're ready. That's all you needed to say. Let's go. You know the way to the Great Mine, right? That's all you needed to say.
Put all artillery units on standby. Wait for my command to bombard enemy positions and cover our infantry advance. We have a choke point here. Tell all infantry units to switch to double-line formation. Close quarters in front, gunners behind. Remember, get the wounded out as soon as possible, and always secure your flanks before advancing.
Yes, sir!
Ah, you're here. Get ready. We need to help the infantry lines drive deep into the mine. The back of the mine has been secured, which gives us a forward base to send in supplies. The Silvermane Wildfire Combined Regiment is conducting rescue missions as they advance. The battle is fierce. I need to get to the front line. I'll leave the command post to my officers.
I don't know much about warfare, but I don't see why a commander needs to lead the charge. The situation here is totally different from the restricted zone. Japard, let me and him clear the way for you. You should stay in your command post.
Thanks, Serval, but please trust my judgment on this. I made a promise to Mr. Oleg to save as many people as possible. I have to see to it myself.
There's no stopping you once you've made up your mind. Fine, we'll do it your way.
Let's move out. We need to clear a way for Wildfire and the guards. All civilians, please go to the bridge immediately. The Silvermane—
There's a monster heading this way. What should we do, Japard?
Bring it down. We need to cover the retreat.
Stand down and I'll spare you.
There's always a weakness.
A blade's edge knows no mercy. Your end approaches.
Pity, you chose the wrong enemy.
It made it easy for us, but we can't let our guards down. It's safe here. Let's move on.
Allow me to see you off.
You'll pay for this. The time is now. Lend me your strength.
I will dispatch you by my... The fight is set.
Receive divinity.
Unnecessary.
Pity, you chose the wrong enemy.
Fleeting light, roaring flood. A blade of moonlight. Ready for death.
We shall take back what we lost.
Allow me to see you off.
Unworthy of my time.
A blade's edge knows no mercy. Your end approaches.
Abyss flower, bloom.
Unnecessary.
Nothing major. Receive divinity.
Unnecessary.
That which is seized must be repaid.
This battle is unavoidable.
Gepard, look! The miners have put up a makeshift defensive line.
Are you a Silvermane guard?
That's right. We're evacuating the miners together with Wildfire. Are there any other civilians up ahead?
The Silvermane guards and Wildfire are working together now? Oh, civilians. Ah, I saw a girl run out from our defensive position just now. My brother went after her, but they haven't come back.
Understood. I'll bring them back. The guards and Wildfire have set up defenses on the bridge. You should head over.
Thank you. Please, bring them back to safety.
Oh no! Monsters are coming this way!
Leave the battle to us. You need to fall back.
Okay. Thank you for saving us.
Don't get complacent.
Well timed.
Tedious.
You'll pay for this. Evildoer.
The fight is set. Make good the loss.
I underestimated you.
Fail to send you.
Eternal sleep is not the end. The dead will return! Abyss flower, bloom.
Your assistance is timely.
That which is seized must be repaid.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them! The time is now. Lend me your strength.
Stand down and I'll spare you. Fleeting light, roaring flood. A blade of moonlight.
That paradise may be unreachable for me. Savor it in my place.
Let's keep searching for the missing girl and the miner.
Is it me or is it cold here?
Don't get complacent.
I mustn't fall. This battle is unavoidable. The time is now. Lend me your strength.
Tedious. A blade of moonlight. All will be revealed. In lunar flame!
I will dispatch you by my sword. Your end approaches.
Allow me to see you off. Receive divinity.
Unnecessary. Fail to send you.
Pity, you chose the wrong enemy. Eternal sleep is not the end. The dead will return! That which is seized must be repaid. Allow me to see you off.
Can't kill me.
The time is now. Lend me your strength.
Fleeting light, roaring flood.
A blade's edge knows no mercy. Make good the law.
Stand down and I'll spare you.
We shall take back what we lost. You'll pay for this.
The fight is set.
Fleeting light, roaring flood.
We shall take back what we lost.
They're in danger.
Don't get complacent.
This battle is unavoidable. Evildoer.
Tedious.
Your end approaches. Make good the loss.
The time is now. Lend me your strength.
Stand down and I'll spare you.
Fleeting light, roaring flood. A blade of moonlight.
Abyss flower, bloom.
Unnecessary. Fail to send you.
Nowhere to run!
The time is now. Lend me your strength.
Tedious.
I underestimated you. Pity, you chose the wrong enemy. Receive divinity. That which is seized must be repaid.
You'll pay for this.
You two. It's too dangerous here. Find the Silvermane guards and Wildfire at the bridge. They'll protect you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Zeno, take my hand. Let's get out of here.
It's so cold here. I'm scared.
The monsters have gotten stronger somehow. I don't remember them being this difficult.
Thank goodness we got here in time. If we'd arrived any later...
That's one brave little girl. You were like that at her age, too.
Huh? I wouldn't go that far. I only had Dad to deal with. He could be fierce, but nothing like the monsters here. Besides, my problem with him wasn't that he was a strict father. I just couldn't believe that he never lifted a finger to oppose Cocolia's order to seal the passageway. Vowing to protect the Underworlders in one breath, and then deciding they deserve to be abandoned in the next? Family code of conduct. What a joke.
Father was a soldier. He wasn't supposed to question the orders from his superiors. Never mind. I know I sound like I'm defending him, and I don't want to make you angry. At least now we've got the chance to right the wrongs.
I'm angry just thinking about it. Looking back, I'm glad I left home early.
Running away doesn't solve the problem. It's been ages since you two had those fights, but you still can't let it go. You need to walk out of his shadow. I'm not trying to change your mind. I just want to know that your choice to leave this planet is a result of having thought things through. Not because you're trying to run away from something.
My choice.
Sorry, I sound like Dad.
Don't worry about it. I get what you're trying to say. I do. It's just... I need some time. Let's focus on the business at hand. That miner we met said his brother came this way. We should look around.
Okay. Be careful, though. I sense a drop in temperature. Something's not right. It could mean something we haven't encountered before is waiting for us. Stay on your toes.
These monsters are tough. I need to find those kids.
Hey, did you just scare off a Fragmentum monster?
Kind of. There was one on its own. I managed to chase it away. Speaking of which, you came from that direction, right? You see two little kids, a girl and her brother? Ah, thank goodness. I chased the monster too far and lost him.
They'll be okay now. You should head back to the bridge too. The guards in Wildfire have set up a safe zone there.
Ah, thank you, all of you. I'm just glad they're okay. I can finally retreat as well. I heard there's a powerful monster down the road, some kind of leader of the pack. I'd take caution.
Thanks for the intel. We'll be careful. I think he was right about the monster. You two, no sudden moves. I've seen this type of monster a few times near the restricted zone. Wait, don't get too close. Something's not right.
Huh? What is it?
These monsters are usually eager to fight. You're guaranteed a fierce battle if you see one in the Fragmentum. But this one doesn't seem concerned about us. This could be a trap. I'm not sure either. I just have a feeling that something's different.
The air... it's so cold.
Stellaron promises Serval.
Did it just talk?
Steady. Get ready to counter its attack.
Can Japard not hear that?
Japard, Serval, Londau.
Did it just say Japard and Serval?
That noise! Do Fragmentum monsters usually sound like this?
Talking? I just hear white noise. Wait, you understand it?
Our names? What's happening here?
I heard rumors about this kind of monster. Shadows in the Fragmentum that assume human form are echoes of the will of past guardians. If the rumors are true, could it be?
Kaguya. You just won't stop haunting me. I try everything to put the past behind me, and yet you always manage to creep up again. Kaguya, you witch! You've terminated my research and ruined my life. What else do you want to take away from me?
Calm down, Serval. It's just a fragmentum illusion.
All that time we spent together, was any of it real? It was so easy for you to just leave this world behind. Don't you at least owe me an explanation?
Serval!
Londo, stand down. There is no place for you. The promised new world.
Sister, I know you want Madame Cacolia to respond. But this thing in front of us is our enemy. It was born out of the evil gathered in the fragmentum. You won't get answers from it. Fight with us, sister. Let's dispel the shadow of the past once and for all. Of course, if you're not yet able to confront the past, then he and I will fight for you until your heart is ready.
You too. I'm sorry, brother. I always make you worry when things get serious. But I see what you're doing. Reverse psychology, huh? Well, seeing as we've come this far, Cacolia, let's settle this bad blood right here, right now.
Abyss flower, bloom.
Save it for your own skin. Try harder.
Don't get complacent. Eternal sleep is not the end. The dead will return! That which is seized must be repaid.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them! The time is now. Lend me your strength.
That paradise may be unreachable for me. Savor it in my place.
Fleeting light, roaring flood. A blade of moonlight. All will be revealed. In lunar flame!
A blade's edge knows no mercy. The fight is set. Veil to send you.
Serval. 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 Why do you always have to stand in my way?
The temperature is returning to normal. The monsters are retreating. I think it's safe to say that the shadow of Madame Cacolia was the reason for this invasion. The other anomalies we experienced were probably also a direct result. Whatever the case, we've managed to avert a crisis. Are you okay? Sounds like something the hero of Belobog would say, all right. It would have taken us much longer to fight off the shadow without you. Serval, how are you feeling?
I feel like something heavy has finally been lifted. All that noise before it perished. Did you catch what it said? I see. You really made no effort to correct your mistakes, Cocolia. Anyway, it doesn't matter anymore. From here on out, I'm over that woman.
I can tell you mean it this time. I'm happy for you, Serval. It's not easy to truly put the past behind you. Looks like we accomplished our mission. I need to get back to the guards and Wildfire to wrap things up. You two should head over to Natasha's place and check in on the wounded.
Sure. Come find us later at the clinic. Let's leave Japar to his business and head back to town.
If there's nothing pressing, let's take a walk. Are you hurt? Let me take a look. I see. Thanks for bringing me up to speed. The clinic has been busy while you were gone. We've treated many people, soldiers and civilians alike. All in all, I owe everyone a big thank you. It would have been much harder if Wildfire had operated alone. Thanks to Captain Japard, we managed to keep our losses to a minimum. I'm sure people will begin to appreciate the Silvermane Guards after this battle. How could I forget about you two? We couldn't have done it without your help.
You're too kind. They deserve the real credit. I doubt I'd have come back in one piece without them.
Sounds like you went through a lot of danger. Are you hurt, Miss Serval? I can have a look if you like.
I'm alright, don't worry. Everything worked out eventually. Let's wait for the rest of them to get back.
Miss Natasha, we've returned.
Is that Japard?
Mr. Oleg has a pretty good handle on what's needed in the mine. He's arranging for rescue teams and supplies to be sent over. He won't be back for a while.
Looks like you guys have the situation under control. Thank you. I'd love to sit down and chat with all of you, but I still have a backlog of patients to see. Oh, there was a girl and her brother who said you saved their lives. You might want to check on them and see how they're doing.
Natasha's right. We should make sure those children are all right.
Come on, drink it up and you'll feel better.
But there's smoke coming out of it.
It's you. You saved us from the monsters in the mine. You guys are Silvermane Guards from the overworld, right? If you hadn't been there, we would have... I'll think of a way to repay you. I'll get a job and... That's very kind of you. If Mom and Dad were still here, they'd want us to return the favor.
Mom and Dad went somewhere far away a long time ago.
haven't come back yet.
They'll come back one day, Zeno.
So, you're looking after your brother on your own? That must be hard.
Not really. It's my responsibility as a sister. I'm just worried that with all these monster invasions, maybe one day I won't. My brother is too young to survive in the underworld. To think he might have to live on his own.
The misjudgment of the former Supreme Guardian isolated the underworld for more than a decade. With that isolation came tragedy. But under Lady Bronya's leadership, the Silvermane Guards will atone for past mistakes and bring relief to the people. From now on, you don't need to worry about the safety of your family.
Captain Shepard.
Taking care of yourself is hard enough under these circumstances, let alone if you have a brother to look after. I know it can't have been easy. Zeno, right?
Yes, Mr. Captain.
You're still young, so you need to stay under your sister's wing. But when you grow up, remember to use what you've learned to protect her. Be there when she needs you, and listen to her when she feels vulnerable. She'll do the same for you.
Okay, sir. I'll protect my sister when I grow up.
Thank you, Captain Shepard. Zeno and I will remember your words.
You know, we're pretty good at turning a happy reunion into a tear fest. Let's call it a day and give them some room. If you're not too tired, Shepard, can I talk to you for a moment? What you said back there, did you really mean it?
Of course I did. And it wasn't some last-minute speech I cobbled together. It's how I always felt. We can't always face problems alone and build walls to keep people out. We need to learn to rely on others, especially those we care about the most.
I know what you're up to, Jeppy.
Huh? What do you mean?
You made it sound like you were talking to those kids. But you were talking to me. Who's building that wall now?
Well, a Landau just called out a Landau.
Shepard, I changed my mind. Change of plan. I've decided to stay in Belobog.
Serval, I just want you to know that I would have supported your decision, no matter what you chose. I wasn't trying to force you to stay.
I know that, Shepard. Don't worry. I've thought this one through for a change. What you said was the last piece of the puzzle for me. I suddenly realized that my decision to leave was just me trying to run away from my problems. Wasn't a mature decision. I've always found it hard to handle complex relationships. Be it Cocolia or my family. The first thought I have when things don't work out is to run away. Starting from today, that's no longer the case. After all, I'm not doing this on my own, right?
Right.
If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have had any idea about the hardships people were going through in the underworld. It made me feel like maybe I could help a little and make Belobog a better place. I have one last thing that I might need your help with. I want to see the Stellaron. I want to see the place where Cocolia sacrificed herself.
Say no more. We'll go with you.
Oh, but before that, I need to go back to the workshop and get something. Why don't you head north first, and we'll catch up with you. It's all right. I've got Japard with me. We'll be safe. See you in a bit.
Let's wait and see.
It's cold here. Is this the Stellaron imprisonment device? They had such advanced technology back in the day. Impressive.
This is where Madame Cacolia died.
She gave something back in death. I wanted to come here to perform for Cacolia. To say goodbye. I'm glad you guys are here to witness it. Not the nicest spot for a show. And the equipment could be better. Sorry about that.
The stage is yours, sister.
Look at me, Cacolia. Don't you dare look away. Because I will no longer live in your shadow!
Happy?
Happy. I just wish I could have seen the look on her face. Shame. Well, that's all from me. Thanks for sticking by my side throughout all of this. As for tonight, let's go to old Gerda's place and have a big feast to celebrate.
So, you're getting the tab?
That which is seized must be repaid.
Stand down and I'll spare you.
You'll pay for this.
Too little. I will dispatch you by my sword. Your end approaches. Make good the loss. Fail to send you.
Allow me to see you off.
There's always a weakness. Evildoer.
A blade of moonlight.
Troublesome.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame!
This battle is unavoidable. The time is now! Lend me your strength!
Nowhere to run!
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them!
Fail to send you.
You'll pay for this. The time is now! Lend me your strength!
Fleeting light, roaring flood!
You gotta say something. Chat's enabled, you know. Huh. More enemies. Time for a buzz.
Time to settle your accounts.
That paradise may be unreachable for me. Savor it in my place.
Abyss flower, bloom.
Unnecessary. You impede me. The fight is set. Make good the loss.
Time for a buzz.
Pity, you chose the
A blade of moonlight.
Can you let me have some fun this time?
Allow me to see you off. Receive divinity.
Good as new.
That which is seized must be repaid.
Fail to send you.
Huh. More enemies.
Too little.
Tedious. Fleeting light, roaring flood.
You impede me.
Pity, you chose the wrong enemy.
A blade of moonlight.
Fail to send you.
Allow me to see you off.
Too little.
Time to settle your accounts.
Fail to send you.
Can you let me have some fun this time? Time for a buzz.
Time to settle your accounts.
Fleeting light, roaring flood.
You impede me. Make good the loss.
Try harder.
Too little.
Time for a buzz.
Time to settle your accounts.
Stand down and I'll spare you. A blade of moonlight.
Abyss flower, bloom.
Good as new. Huh. More enemies. Time for a buzz.
Time to settle your accounts. Receive divinity. That which is seized must be repaid.
Ready for death.
Fail to send you.
Let's skip the formalities, Silver Wolf. I'm always game for putting on a show.
This combat needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow.
A brave new world.
Might be trickier to crack. Time for a buzz.
That breathing sensation. Remember it.
Allow me to see you off.
Stand still.
Can you
Good
let me have
times
some fun
never
this
last.
time?
Time to say bye.
Ready to be crushed. You will not take away our hope.
Eternal sleep is not the end. The dead will return! Receive divinity. That which is seized must be repaid.
Fleeting light, roaring flood. A blade of moonlight.
Relax.
More enemies.
Didn't hurt.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame!
Pity you chose the wrong enemy.
Stand still.
Can you let me have some fun this time?
Caught in the net. Good times never last. Time to say bye.
The Stellaron changes everything! Huh. More enemies. Time for a buzz.
Allow me to see you off.
Relax. Nowhere to run!
Abyss flower, bloom.
Good as new.
Time for the old world to collapse! Try harder. Stand still. The only redemption.
Eternal sleep is not the dead will return. That which is seized must be repaid.
Tedious.
This combat needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow. Can you let me have some fun this time? Time for a buzz.
May as well kill them all. I will be the architect of a new world!
Nothing major.
Good times never last. Time to say bye.
Pity you chose the wrong enemy.
Relax. Unworthy of my time. A blade of moonlight. The past.
Allow me to see you off. Receive divinity.
Save it for your own skin.
Huh. More enemies.
Stand still.
This combat needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow.
I will be the architect of a new world! Try harder.
Abyss flower, bloom.
Thanks. You're too good to me.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame! They deceived me. The moon shines on the truth.
you